All right. Good evening, folks. I know we're starting with a fairly small group here, but knowing our crowd, they're going to hop in as we get going. So with that, we'll get going. Um, Thanks for being here for this focused discussion. Uh, I know it feels a little weird to be doing the one to set the theme for the season after we've had two already. Um, but I was so eager to have so Alex Diaz and Chris Doucette led Advanced Mechanics and Communication. That was a new Expo workshop they're writing, so they wanted that done before Expo. That was their test run of the workshop. So it was great to have them do that. And then of course Tom Bobadilla um, did his session, which I'm glad to hear how many people are still enjoying that. I've heard a lot of comments about how it was pretty high level, but it was accessible for everybody. I think he did a great job with that, and so did Alex and Chris, and the time worked out for those. But let's talk about the theme. And if you haven't heard yet, there's the question of why do we even have a theme? Like what's a theme with Team 3, right? So Team 3 is just a mentoring program with a lot of extra work, and we put some branding on it. Figured, hey, you give it a name more exciting than mentoring program, and maybe it'll stick around. Um, and so the reason we have a theme is to try to get everyone pulling in the same direction. We can refine skills, and so if we're all focused on certain skills, it's easy to talk back and forth about them, and it gives me something I can feed to the instructors. Um, so at first we didn't have themes, so we just let's just go do some mentoring, some developing, and whatnot. Um, so on this year's theme, I want to focus on what we're calling the essentials. Um, the essentials of refereeing. And why do we pick that? We have a lot of new referees participating this year, and we're kind of building with a group that's comfortable at 12s and 14s. And at times in the past, we've pretty much had a group that's exclusively focusing on 16s and 19s. So we've shifted with who's working with us right now. So we're going to the essentials right now, which I hope, just like I've heard the praise for Tom Bobadilla's session, I hope this to be high level and accessible to somebody at whatever level they may be. That's kind of my goal here. So to launch into the essentials, I want to tell you a story. I will tell you what the essentials are. I'm not just putting the name out there. Um, who here has heard of the Ken Aston camp? Okay, I saw Kelly's hand up. Kelly, have you
Yeah.
attended?
I have not. It always ends up when we go on family vacation. But I will get there at some point.
It's right there by Disneyland.
Yeah, no, I know that, but our vacations at Disneyland, they're usually
I
somewhere
know
more
some
with
folks that
water.
have their family has gone to Disneyland while they've gone to the camp, and then at
Yeah.
night they go out to join their family.
Yeah. No, I'll get there eventually. I'll miss it this year as well. Sorry.
Okay. David, have you been there?
Negative. Same situation. It's summertime and I got a high school kid in football and not soccer football, but
Yeah.
American football. So it that's the same time as camp season.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Um, so at the Ken Aston camp, um, there is proof that I haven't always been teaching. Um, here's a student. Um, that's me as a student. There is evidence. So this was the Ken Aston camp. I want to say this was 2006 or 2007. This is me in the national referee course, and I think Cindy's in the course as well, but maybe they had her in another room. Is that true?
Most likely. Mm.
Okay. Um, yeah. the national referee course gets so large that they split into multiple groups. Where am I going with this? Um, so each year they have a principal instructor, and it wasn't Phil Briggs who we see here on the right. He's still got the same mustache he's always had. Um, but so Brian Hall this year was the principal instructor, and he pops into every class. And there was a point where he popped into the national referee course, and the instructors had asked the class, so what do you think it takes um, for the game to go well, for the referee to get it right? Um, and the whole group started going off about this and that and this and that. And then at one point, Brian asked the instructor, "Hey, do you mind if I step in?" And of course, they said yes. And so Brian stepped in and said, "Look, there are four things that you have to get right in a game. Those are the key things. So, does anyone have any thoughts on what those four things might be?"
Okay, I'll give you one. PK,
Okay, you think PKs we have to get right to have a good game, a well-refereed game?
I think you got
Think
to get
about
timing,
timing. Okay.
you know, and communication amongst the crew, like your
Mm,
crew.
okay.
So you have to have that common communication plus respect of each other. Because if you guys don't look good, game's probably not going to go well.
Yep. And Kelly, you
And
can throw
then
one out. Think about what I've messed up that really made the game go downhill. That's probably something that I should have gotten right.
Yeah, I was gonna say like in relation to like Law 11, which also requires working as a team, and then getting with fouls accuracy in terms of making the right call for it.
Okay. Yeah. So the four items, we've got the penalty kick. We've got 100% misconduct. We've got goal, no goal. Goals are kind of important. And then, of course, at the end, we've got offside. So offside, penalty kick, goal, no goal, and 100% misconduct. So these are what Brian Hall thinks are top things to get right. And Brian Hall is yeah, one of the most legendary American referees. He was a FIFA referee. Um, he's right up there with Kevin Stott. Um, I'm just thinking of the same era. Uh, and he was involved with the professional referee organization, and he did a lot of training there. He was involved a lot in U.S. soccer, and right now he's got a lot of involvement with NYSOA, the college group. Um, but yeah, so he got a lot of action, a lot of respect. He was a pretty strong referee, so his opinion is valuable. Thinking about these four things, it's kind of like you can imagine. Hey, we're rushing between games. We got to knock out this pregame, and what are we going to cover, right? How do we make sure we cover the good stuff, the important stuff in the pregame? Um, so he narrowed it down to four things. He was talking to the national referee class and said, these are the four things you got to get right. This was the advice he was imparting on them as they were preparing to start their journey to the highest level certification in AOA. So is everyone tracking with that so far? Okay. And I actually, the funny thing is I remember it. Yeah, that was 20 years ago at this point. And I still remember that. And I was looking for it. He autographed my law book that year. Um, I don't have that. I remember I got pushed to ask him for an autograph. I do have this book of it's called Refereeing is Thinking: The Wit and Wisdom of Ken Aston. So I pull a lot of quotes from here. It's something that Camp provided back then. So let's dive into one of these and let's just start talking about the importance of it and the ways to get it right. So, of course, the first one is offside. In what role are we thinking about that most?
AR.
Right? That's AR's number one responsibility. Let's take a look at this clip. These are all Team 3 clips tonight. Okay. All right. So, did they get it right?
I always need to see the clips twice. While I
Me
gain
too.
perspective on
No
the
shame in it. No shame in it. Here, we'll set it up. We'll say the kick has not happened yet. I know it's a little more choppy on your end than for me. So the kick's about to happen. I'm going to pause it. And all right, so the kick happens right here.
Okay.
Which
And I
team
know
on defense?
defense is blue.
Yeah, blue. Oh, defense is blue. Okay.
I know we're out of position here on the touchline. But how many attackers do we count in an offside position?
There's 3. Well, it's hard to tell with the middle one actually. Because at that angle you can't tell with the middle one. Actually, now
Yeah.
that you look at it closely on pause, it's hard at that angle to tell any of them.
But you've got that line on the ground. That's
Yeah, the
probably
line on the
for the
ground, the
commentary.
one in the background there looks furthest from it with his right leg.
Hmm.
It's hard to tell with the middle player. And then number 2, yeah, that's a close one. Because his left foot is actually closer to the line than the defender, but you can't tell with the rest of his body at that angle.
Yeah. I did a match last Friday and it's been a while since I've refereed on a football field with those markings. It's
Oh yeah.
like, gosh, this is like putting offside on autopilot. It didn't matter where I stood. It was so
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So you're all looking at that. Okay, so the tough decision here is with this guy, but you know what? I'm going to say at least 2, maybe 3 offside position. And so this is the moment the ball is getting kicked. So this is the moment we're judging position. No, I guess we're jumping back. All right. That's a short enough clip. All right, kick and boom. Ooh, look, so we got duped. The AR didn't get duped. But look at this. We thought it was coming to the attacker in the middle, number 44. And then actually he tries to play it. I don't know if he quite touches it there. He certainly didn't get the touch he wanted, unless he's better than I think he is. Um, and it came through to his teammate, who I would say was probably the most safely offside. And so he's the one who uh, gets involved by playing the ball. If only he had a left foot, right? He might have been able to put that in the back of the net. So, didn't go into the goal kick, free kick. What's the difference, right? Let's take a look at another one. And I don't know if it's just me, but the colors here are challenging. But if you just look at the shoulders, you got blue shoulders versus white shoulders. Oh, that one ended up in the goal, but the flag's up. What do we think about that one?
I think the cameraman had a bad angle. There was a lot of players screening us.
We've got 2 offside focus discussions coming up, and I'm worried about the cameraman always being out of position. So was this one terribly important? I'm
Yeah.
getting some nodding. Why? Why am I getting nodding?
Oh,
Because that little guy in the back, he got the scraps. Okay. That's a little more important than the last one, right? Okay. So how do we make sure we get this one right? Because again, this clip has multiple players doing multiple things. You've got another one who's going for the first touch, right? The defender tried and he missed it. And then we've got the attacker putting his head into it, and I can't tell for the life of me whether he touched it.
in full speed, it kind of looked like he changed the direction a little bit.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
I don't think he knew his teammate was there, though.
Yeah. So as an AR, long day games, how do you know when that matters? You can't chase every ball. You can't be perfectly on the offside line every time. How do you know it matters?
You can kind of get a sense through the game which team is strong, which team may not be, if they're going to
Hmm.
have a player that can put the ball in front of the goal from that side of the field. Those are things that, as you gauge the game, and be like, okay, I got to hustle right now, and there's a lot of players down there too. So yeah, that's how I would look at it.
Okay, so Kelly's thinking tactically about, how do I need to prepare for this? Okay. Let's take a look at another situation. So this is another Team 3 referee. First name starts with a K as well, and the spelling of her last name was the hardest for me to get forever. So she was Kelly 1.0, whereas you're 2.0. I've almost got your name locked in, the spelling.
Okay, now I'm nervous.
No, I'm nervous trying to spell it right.
I still
Hi, Andy. Okay. All right. This one gets a slightly different reaction, right? If we go back to the previous clip, you look at everyone's reaction after the ball goes in the goal. What are they thinking? What's everyone on the field, both teams thinking?
I
Goal.
knew it was offside.
Goal scored.
Or they were walking back to Andy's point.
So Andy thinks they're going back for a kickoff.
I think it looks like that white shoulder team was getting beat and they were ready to accept giving up another goal.
Yeah. So you can kind of tell the temperature of the match here. You've you've got one team that's broken. Their spirits are low. And then here, tell me about the temperature of the match here.
More intense, definitely, but
Yeah, definitely more intense. Um,
younger age
maybe,
too. So I think at a more experienced team, that like the green team, the defenders would have been complaining about offsides, and it looks like the two defenders just kind of are blocking back, even though that they kind of accepted the goal, but
yeah.
they didn't understand. They don't truly understand the rules.
I'd say this looks like a 12U.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, is this for national games?
This is Pot of Gold.
Oh, okay.
You
How
know what's
many?
interesting about
Sorry, go ahead.
you're gonna have to unmute if you want to talk to us, Andy.
I didn't pay attention. So anyway, the guy that scored the goal the
Hmm.
blonde and the white hair. His reaction was not what you would expect from someone who scored a goal. In other words, he didn't fall down in his, in jubilation.
Uh-huh.
Somehow, I think he saw the flag going up, which is unbelievable that the guy was paying attention to it then and not earlier. But yeah, there he is. He's actually basically, I can't believe I did that type of thing, is what those arms
Yeah.
are up like. And it's like, the guy was actually aware that
Look at
he
this
was up.
quick turn from shooting to, oh, it tells you the rest were on top of it, right? Because you look at his teammate too. Hold on, here we go. His teammate's on the ground too. Like, so I think you think they were called offside before this one as well.
Probably.
I think this crew is
Or
catching them left and right. You just look at the level of discipline on the offside line here. It's just not there. You can see he's yards off.
Aren't these girls?
yeah,
Oh,
look
okay.
like
Sorry. It's the quality of our video is so low. I'm even looking at the original. I'm not looking through the zoom filter. So yeah, the teammate even knows, you're offside again, right?
Yeah.
There's no fighting back.
I don't know.
Yeah,
She
and
started her dive before she saw the AR's flag. Maybe there was a whistle though.
Here,
or
we
may,
can,
or maybe what happened was her teammate, maybe her teammate said something.
maybe. So this crew is on top of it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
hopefully. You don't see the
Yeah.
reaction of the CR in here, where if he didn't pay attention to the flag, and then the flag was dropped shortly after. So don't know if they was recognized or not from this clip.
Yeah. She did see him. I'm the one that clipped this down, so I get the rest of the story. Um, and I'm the one that filmed it. I get more info than you get, but she did see Keith. Um, and so Keith's saying offside, he's got his whistle there, and he's saying right in the middle of the field. Yeah. So if you're on top of it, right? If you're lagging with this, if the ref's got to run over the AR, say, "Hey, are you sure?" Because I think if that's got to go on, what's the reaction going to look like instead? How's it going to change?
I think you're going to get the coach having some opinions expressed.
Which coach?
The coach that's being denied the goal, the white team coach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so being on top of it helps give them confidence in you, right? And you look at this referee crew, it doesn't matter whether the call's right, you're believing them. They're selling it. Okay. I know offside's not the most exciting thing. Um, but it's one of those things that helps you get it right. If I
I
were a
also think
baker,
as
I would have an analogy from baking. What's that?
I said, I also think as a CR, you got to back your ARs up. And if they call a flag, unless it's like completely obvious, you got to back them up. And that's how you gain the confidence amongst the crew, and then confidence between the coaches too. So,
Yeah.
you know, you, you don't always like, because you're behind. Usually as a CR, you're behind at that offside line. And if they call offside, you got to respect that and go with it.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. Showing that cohesiveness goes a long ways. So we've already identified the four essentials, and then how to show that you're getting them right is where David's mind is. I like it. So let's take a look at we're moving into penalty kicks now. I think I've got 3 or 4 clips for you here. All right. Okay. What do we think of that one?
I like Armando's definite signal.
He sold it.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's more to it than just identifying whether the foul occurred inside the penalty area. They're selling it. Right? Boom, he decided. Okay.
I mean, he is
All
right
right.
there to know if it's in the area. I just, from that angle, to me, I can't ascertain that it actually is a foul or if she just
I
fell.
can't see a
Yeah.
penalty area line.
Well, I mean, he's
So
right
then,
there. The ref is right there, so would know. But yeah, to me, it's question. But there's a part where we're blocked from view if the foul did occur.
so that's a good thing to identify, Kelly. It's kind of important to know whether it was inside or outside, right? Because otherwise, if it's right by the end, right by the limit of the penalty area, you might just put it outside and what's the impression that happens if they're like, everyone thinks that was inside, but the ref put it outside.
It's almost like, I mean, yes, they'll all have an opinion, but I mean, I was being yelled at by people I know. I was an AR. They're like, the ball, the ball was over the goal line. And I finally get up to by where they're at, and I know the people, right? I'm like, how can you guys say that to me? I'm standing closer than you were, and I can't see the goal line. So they always say something, but they don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of more about selling it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does it matter where the ball is, or is it where the foul occurred? Because
That's a good question.
Andy bring, it's the first time I really kind of heard that where the ball was over the line and not necessarily where the foul occurred. The foul still occurred to me. If the foul occurred outside of the box, then it's not a PK, regardless of where the position of the ball is.
What do you think, Andy?
Well,
And I could be wrong.
it's where the foul occurs. But my example, David, was actually someone saying the ball was out of play or that the ball was still in play.
Okay.
And so it's
Okay.
just that they were, in other words, they were commenting, they were referees, but they were making a comment. And when I got up to by where they were on the touch line, it was like, I can't see the line. And that was on a turf field. And you couldn't see the line from where they were complaining from. So that's all I was saying. It's the same thing with, I didn't even think about it when we saw the beginning of this clip was was the position. I wasn't even thinking about that because I couldn't see anything. But it's like, oh yeah, you are trying to sell it. Where was it? And that's why he made his signal so quickly.
So in that situation where it's right by the edge of the penalty area and it's hard to tell as a referee, what are some helpful things that you can rely on to get a good decision?
Your AR.
Obviously, the parents and the touch line, they know everything.
Which touch line?
I mean, the AR has a pretty good view from that side of the penalty area.
Yeah,
So
where is
AR can
the
pitch
AR?
in.
I don't see the AR.
That's a good question.
Maybe there wasn't one.
Oh, you know what? I think the angle's different than what I was thinking. We never even see the corner flag.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
We don't?
so oh, you know what? There it is. Right
Yeah.
there.
Okay. So we can't see the AR really.
Again, the cameraman lets us down. Okay, so I thought she was out on the, she was over toward the side of the penalty area, but she's right down by the goal line. And so all we can assume at this point is that the AR is on the goal line. Yeah. Okay.
This
It's
to me looks like the referee saying, I know exactly where that happened, and
mhm.
that's why he's so confident about it.
Yeah, he was definitely solid there. So we've given the penalty kick, and then let's see what happens next. I think he really quickly right there covered a lot of important things. He didn't have to say a lot. Who can narrate what was going on here? I'll play it back.
It's under my name.
It's under Andy's name.
Oh, sorry.
Andy's getting
Forgot
his
a note.
food.
I got my son to go pick up the food order.
Oh, what'd you get us?
Chinese.
All right. So
Yeah.
I
what's
think at the
what's
beginning there, he was making sure the goalkeeper was set.
Yeah.
mhm.
I'm a goalkeeper.
Then he told the kicker, wait for my
Wait for my
whistle.
whistle. Telling the
Yeah.
Victor?
other players to stay outside the box.
Yeah.
And then he steps away.
That's Victor, right? Of
Yeah.
That is
that's
Victor.
okay.
course he's got it down.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on, right? Everyone's hearts racing after they called the PK. This is pretty admirable, right? He's like, hey, we're gonna make sure everyone knows what's expected of them without lecturing them. And then we're gonna get it done nice and clean. 1, 2, 3, and then all right, I'm gonna get to my spot. And of course, the cameraman let you down again. He cut out the AR.
You got encroachment there, almost by that white player.
Yeah, looks close.
Yeah. Which one are we looking at? 15 here?
Oh, I saw
27.
27.
He
27.
starts his run
Yeah.
outside. It's hard to see the timing whether he was in.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very close though.
Okay.
It
And the
started
ball
off-
went in the net, so it's a good one to call or a good one to watch. All right. Um, we've got one more penalty kick. Look at this. The cameraman got the AR.
Is that the referee should bring them on as soon as possible.
All right. So, what do we think about the AR's involvement on these?
Is that the referee should bring them on as soon as.
Well, I don't know whether you swung the camera too soon, but he didn't. The lead AR did not move towards the center.
Yeah, there's kind of that awkward movement pattern you got to follow as the AR there, right? Like you got to retreat back to the flag and then up.
Is that the referee should bring them on as soon as.
Yeah, I think it panned away too soon.
Yeah, I was thinking it's probably that the cameras panned sooner than the guy moved. And I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
We're stuck with the bad cameraman.
It was there long enough to see if there was some sort of movement from the lead AR though, like if they were either told to step on the field or off the field if the keeper moved too soon.
And you know what I really like here is the trail AR James here. He's still keyed in. He's paying attention to what's going on that go no go situation.
So great camera work.
So
lead AR.
So speaking of goal no goal situations, right? James was locked in there. It's too bad Keith isn't here because I give him a proud father moment every time. There's only one clip for goal no goal. It's the definitive goal no goal clip, and it makes Keith a proud father every time we show it. That's the second time we've got Armando tonight. So I've got just one clip. What do you want to say about that?
No goal.
No goal. How do we know?
Because you can see the line.
It was great camera work.
There we go.
Oh, that's what we were looking for.
And it was a great run by Nate. He didn't stop.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is good. And that's Keith's son?
that's Keith's son. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Good job.
Yeah, so he keys in, and then what do we see him do next?
He waves it off with his hand to let the referee know. Little gesture. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did he know to do that?
Pre-game?
Pre-game. Okay. Fair
Probably
enough.
your mom looking right at him and he wanted to give him some sort of signal that, yeah, I got you.
And how did he know Armando was looking right at him?
Because he was looking at Armando.
To
He
me,
was looking at Armando.
yeah, it looks like he's looking at him.
Yeah. What's Armando thinking here?
He's probably thinking, help me know if it crossed over the goal line. Because I
Yeah,
can't
he's like,
tell
I
where
can't see that. That's up to Nathan. And what's the keeper thinking here?
Ooh,
I
great
am.
save.
She's thinking, oh my gosh, I would have heard about that one. Yeah.
Isn't that Clint's sister playing goalkeeper?
Oh, it's just the whole family thing. Clint refereed with us before he went to college.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's nothing to it but hard work, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in the advanced course, we cover a bit of how to distribute responsibilities, including things around the goal line, because we know none of us can run as fast as the ball. Just because Nathan here can outrun these ladies. I'm gonna say this looks like a 16U. Nathan's able to keep up with them. So if you got a free kick or something, then you can kind of decide, does my AR go down the line? But that can be challenging. Okay, 100% misconduct. Um, I've only got one clip for this, but hopefully it's going to land home.
Hopefully it's not too ugly.
We're building the suspense. Okay. What happened?
I don't know. I was watching the ball. I missed what happened behind the ball.
Ball watching. Ball watching.
Well, I was looking, you had such a long lead on the thing that
Yeah. I'll let you get a feel for the game. Oh, I get at it. Jump back on me. All right, here it comes. You're going to watch 21 here.
Ooh, follow through.
Okay, so
There's a
that's what
lag.
yeah. So it's her arm that's up near her face. Is that's because it when I was looking at her legs, I didn't see.
Can I
Yeah.
slow it down? No. Yeah, so watch her right arm.
Yeah, it's like she follows through with a punch.
Oof.
She got the ball and then she hit her.
Yeah, it wasn't like a natural move with her of the way her arm should have gone either. But the ref is not. Where is the ref?
Yeah, so let's take a look at where the ref is relative to this.
And this is right in the center circle, right? So right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I think the circle's just over there. So we know the ref's over to our left here. And if we play it forward a little bit, he hasn't come back in the screen. So right here, are we expecting the ref to be able to see that?
Not with
No.
where we think he is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The air on the other side, on the right would be able to
I
see it.
think that's in
But
a
if
different game.
they might be paying attention to the attack and keeping up with the second to last defender at this stage too, though,
Yeah.
and not see that.
Except for if the referee is slightly to the left as he's
Hmm.
running towards the direction of the ball, he might have had an angle on it.
And and this is a tough one. I'm not faulting the referee here.
Yeah.
This is a tough one positioning. Look, Blue's got it, and then this is where 21 gets frustrated because the ball comes to her and then she gets robbed. I'm sure that's not the first time it's happened in this game. Oh, and then Red's got the ball, and then Blue's got the ball, and then Blue's going back, and then Blue's got. So there are about 5 turnovers in there. So the ref's just like, which way do I go? But you
Yeah,
know what?
it's
So
like what,
go ahead.
10 yards away, maybe judging from the circle there.
Yeah.
Not very far away.
Well, he was at least where he is now. He's not that far away, but what happened on the other side.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So he might not have been able, so he might have had better position than we thought. I didn't realize where he was until this clip right stopped here. So maybe he wasn't that far. Maybe his view is just blocked.
So the clip gets long. I cut it off. But I'll tell you, the ref's primary focus is the injured player. She's bleeding from the face. Uh, the hit landed. Um, and so he's focused on getting her taken, getting her handled. Um, and then you hear a lot of your AR, ref, your AR. So the AR, I want to say it was Keith, um, flagged this because it was all right in front of his face. So the team worked together, got it right. No one has any doubt on whether this is misconduct to send off, right?
Right.
At the first playthrough, it can happen quickly. And this was actually a cool situation where um, uh, they asked for the clip. The tournament or region asked for the clip to decide on the punishment, and we actually had it. Um, so the crew worked together. What happens if the crew didn't get this?
Well, the actions continue. One team is definitely upset that they have an injured player that's obviously bleeding. I mean, the after action of the initial action is definitely there. But yeah. And then number 21 continues to think that he can get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and does Blue feel safe? So what are they going to do if they don't feel safe?
They don't play up to their abilities. They're skittish. Yeah.
Or
Or
they're
they,
going to try to preempt something like this happening again by being aggressive towar's the red team.
Kelly was showing an admirable amount of faith in the human spirit. They're going to start protecting themselves, right?
Yeah.
And we've all heard that parent. You know, the ref's not going to protect you. You protect yourself. Don't let her push you around. So part of the referee's job is to make them feel protected. So in getting this right, the referee crew made sure the game stayed on the right track. So there are some of those times where a moment can come up, you know, and we're saying it's one of these four situations. Or you got to get it right, or you're going to really have some consequences to handle. So let's recap. And I said these four because I knew I was going to ask you this question next. So what did Brian Hall say are the four things you've got to get right to have the game go well?
I wrote it down. So is that
I
cheating?
saw you writing it down. Yeah. You
Offside.
can give me one, Kelly.
Offside.
Offside. Okay. Who wants to give me another one?
Well, I'll give you the same one I gave you earlier, penalty kick.
Penalty kicks. Gotta get that right.
Oh, I'll guess one. I'll say misconduct.
100% misconduct. Yeah. Which is a
Misconduct.
term that was used back in the day with advice to referees, that publication. And anyway, did I hear David give the last one?
Oh, I was copying Andy there for a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's that last one? Does anyone have it for me?
Well, goal, no goal.
Goal, no
Goal,
goal.
no goal. There we go. So in Brian Hull's theory, those are the four things you got to get right. So we're going to kind of break it down and go through each of those mechanics, laws, application. But hopefully, as you know, I know sometimes with doing mentored games, I got to get everything right. Or you can boil it down. Let me give you a line from Ken Aston, from my Ken Aston book here, The Wit and Wisdom of Ken Aston. So he tells us soccer's elegance is in its simplicity. It detracts from the game when complicated situations occur, which could have been avoided by some forethought. The referee who can instinctively recognize potential problems and who acts to prevent them from developing represents the level of competence which should be aspired to. The only way to achieve this goal is through the individual's dedication and acquiring of sufficient experience. Experience generates the confidence necessary to act according to the doctrine of fairness, which underlies the laws of the game. Although this doctrine gives referees much latitude in bending the rules, it is not licensed to make up rules to get out of difficult situations. Furthermore, the laws must be applied scrupulously if bending them produces an unfair advantage. So the elegance is in the simplicity. If we get the essentials right, in Brian Hall's words, these four things, go no goal, penalty kick, offside, 100% misconduct. If we get those right, then soccer remains elegant. And we don't have to go inventing rules to make up for difficult situations. So with that as our focus, we're going to see the themes continue on, and we're going to delve into each of those as we progress through the season. Does anyone have any questions on what Brian Hall said, on those clips, on what Ken Aston said?
I just think it's really good. And the comment about experience says a lot. Like those of us that are, on the call that don't have the same level of experience as the rest of you, myself, it is something, it's a constant reminder that, mistakes that are made, mentorship that you receive, all those things help with the collective experience that you have from refereeing games. So I liked it.
I think one thing that these clips showed me is staying diligent, even and not getting complacent like that last one, the 100% misconduct. The referee could see that the ball is going back and forth, no really control, and then all of a sudden something happens. Or like on that goal, no goal clip, it's like, oh, this is an easy save for the keeper. And then like, oh, no, it's not. So if you're complacent and you're not making the effort, it can really make the game complicated.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. The diligence is key. Yeah, and I think Ken Assen's getting that as well. So with that, I want to give you a teaser for what our next two focus discussions are. Um, our next focus discussion will be on the mechanics of AR positioning, which I've I've leaned on animations inside PowerPoint to show certain situations, and you can bring in protractors. We're going to do some trigonometry. It gets real fun. Um, and then after that, we will talk about active involvement and that whole concept, and what it really looks like, the different ways of becoming involved in active play. And then from there, we'll move on to the rest of the themes. But with that teaser, I really want to thank you folks for helping out, and making this session, this discussion, what it is. And I look forward to seeing everybody on the field this weekend. And with that, we're going to wrap up the recording.
Thank you very much.